To Elizabeth's amazement, Dee reports that instead of execution, she faces a very different fate. According to her astrological chart, she is destined to become queen. Learning of the prophecy, Elizabeth's rival, Queen Mary, throws Dee into prison for heresy and treason, sentencing him to be burned at the stake. But the sentence is never carried out. Incredibly, as Dee had predicted, Queen Mary dies suddenly and Elizabeth ascends to the throne. In gratitude, Elizabeth appoints John Dee England's royal astrologer. He would counsel the Queen on important decisions throughout her reign.
Queen Elizabeth I asked him to pick a propitious day for her coronation, which he did. You might draw the conclusion, in view of how successful her reign was, that he picked the right day.
Was Dee's horoscope an accurate prediction based on the stars, or simply a shrewd political guess? We may never know. But we do know that in the 15th and 16th centuries, throughout the world, astrology was entering a golden age. However, new discoveries in the heavens made possible by the invention of the telescope create an ever-widening gap between the science of astronomy and the art of astrology. One of the key figures in this growing conflict is the German Johannes Kepler. He has already proved that the sun is the center of the solar system. Though considered a founding father of modern science, many believe Kepler was also an astrologer. He provides tantalizing evidence to support the accuracy of astrology. In 1608, at his observatory near Prague, Kepler draws up a horoscope for Albrecht von Wallenstein, a young Czech military officer. The chart shows that Wallenstein is a Libra, and that Mars, the planet of war, features prominently in his life.
He is alert, eager, and restless, with scorn and indifference towards human laws and conventions. Unmerciful, vigilant, and fearless. Such an unusual nature will be capable of great deeds. Johannes Kepler, 1608.
The analysis will prove amazingly prophetic. Wallenstein goes on to become a triumphant general in the 30 Years' War, and then the most powerful military leader in Europe. He bases key decisions in his career on Kepler's astrological chart. In 1632, Wallenstein reaches the height of his power. On the night before an important battle, he meets with an astrologer for a reading. The stargazer issues an ominous warning. Despite Wallenstein's military superiority, the portents for the coming battle are unfavorable. The next day, as predicted, Wallenstein's forces are defeated. Was this another self-fulfilling prophecy, brought on by Wallenstein's own superstitious belief in astrology? Or was it something more? Whatever it was, the defeat of his troops destroys Wallenstein's career. Later, he is murdered by his own soldiers in the very month that Kepler had predicted, 26 years earlier. Despite Kepler's personal belief in the powers of the zodiac, astrology now loses favor as astronomy becomes the accepted science for the study of the stars. By the 20th century, science and society view astrology from a new perspective. Astrology, the study of how the heavenly bodies influence our lives and personalities. Books and magazines on the subject are perennial bestsellers. Every major newspaper in the country prints a horoscope column. While millions believe in this ancient art, many more vehemently deny its validity. And yet, the question persists. Could this centuries-old practice reveal anything about our lives today?
It's a very, very powerful transit. I'm not surprised that you've just gotten your PhD, because it's a very much of a Jupiter kind of a quality.
Susie Cox is a professional astrologer. Her clients include celebrities, lawyers, and business leaders.
I think really the trick for you to make money and to feel real successful is to do what you love. It's not like, oh, well, I'll get a job and I'll do that. That doesn't really work for you.
She believes astrology to be a complex synthesis of science and psychology.
Astrology is the study of the planetary cycles and how that correlates with human patterns and behaviors in life. I think it's also a tool for self-understanding and personal growth. And I think it's also an ancient symbolic language that astrologers translate into easy words for people.
About 4,000 years ago, the ancient Babylonians living in what is today Iraq were among the first to develop astrology. Dividing the sky into 12 equal sections, they believed that the position of the planets and constellations could influence fate and destiny. The Babylonians noted that every month the sun would rise with a different constellation. In March and April, the dominant constellation is Aries, in a pattern which was defined as a ram. The stars of Taurus rise next, and are visualized as a bull. Later, the Greeks believed that each constellation exerts an effect on those born under its influence. Today, modern astrology is based on a combination of Babylonian and Greek, and is guided by the same belief in the power of the stars. What makes this ancient practice so popular in our high-tech computer age? Is it because people are looking for answers that science cannot provide? Or is it because, as professional astrologers insist, that astrology works?
I've done 26,000 charts over the years, and I've learned that every person connects with their chart. All someone has to do is observe and pay attention, and you realize it does work.
But many critics insist that science completely discredits astrology.
Well, we know that astrology can't work according to any of the laws of physics. Astrology is just utterly incompatible with a viewpoint of the world based on laws of physics.
Whether astrology is true or little more than superstition, the modern era has nevertheless proven to be a bonanza for professional astrologers. But how did this practice from the ancient world become so widespread in this century? In America, one extraordinary woman was responsible for thrusting astrology into mainstream popular culture. As a new century begins, the burgeoning young medium of radio would make a household name of Evangeline Adams, an astrologer who captures the public's attention. Her horoscopes would become valuable collector's items.
My great aunt had her astrology chart done in about 1927 by Evangeline Adams, and I happened to have her birth chart that she did. So I feel somehow I'm connected with Evangeline Adams through my great aunt.
For Adams, a trip to New York in 1899 would launch her amazing career.